Welcome back. As we all know what has been happening in Nigeria for a long time now, the state of insecurity, economic challenges, lack of proper infrastructure, electricity is not available. Things are not just working properly. There is no social support from the government. Government is not assisting widows. Government is not assisting anyone. In fact, recently, they asked Nigerians to go get themselves health insurance because the federal government cannot take care of 200 million Nigerians. Apart from the crude oil that we have, apart from the other resources, gold, diamond, bitumen, and human resources, agriculture, just name it, you will find crops growing in Nigeria without even putting too much, putting fertilizers. You drop a piece of mango, it grows, it sprouts up. That tells you that the land is fertile. But unfortunately, this fertile land that we have in Nigeria, they've not made use of this, and rather this group of people still. Nigerians, it's time to free yourselves from Buhari's tyranny. This is according to a writer, and his name is Bayo. He said President Buhari is sitting on a time bomb that will explode anytime from now unless he makes a dramatic U-turn. If he likes, let him continue to hunt down critics. Let him continue his oppressive rule, his tyranny. Let him continue his nepotism. Let him continue as an invincible emperor. December 1776. Thomas Paine reminded Americans that tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet, we have this consolation with us that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. That was 243 years ago. In 2019 Nigeria, Thomas Paine declaration resonates with oppressed Nigerians subjected to hellish conditions by President Muhammadu Buhari, and of course previous administration too. They've been part of this also. President Buhari is a poor substitute for a leader of representative democracy that respects your rights. Buhari is far worse than Sani Abacha. After all, Abacha was neither voted for nor rigged through election into office. He was a military dictator, and we know him for who he is. Unlike President Muhammadu Buhari, in fact, I call him General Muhammadu Buhari, that spoke in Chatham House, London, and he claimed that he is a repentant military dictator, that he will uphold the rule of law and respect the rule of law. I wouldn't know why, all because of politics, they decided to front this man Buhari rather than fronting someone that would come into Nigeria and they will deal with the necessary, the needs of Nigeria. And that has to do with restructuring, abrogation of the constitution. But unfortunately, that is not so. The abuses, oppression, violation of human rights, violation of your constitution, which, like I said initially, should be abrogated anyway, and disrespect for rule of law fly in the face of every democratic idea and ideal. Nigerians, you are to blame. After all, it is often said that you deserve the ruler that you got. You deserve the leader that you elected. As if you are under a divine curse. You watch helplessly as Buhari reduced you to slaves, deterring every meaningless tribalities. You watch with your hands tied behind your backs as Buhari tightens the noose on your freedom, liberty, justice, peace, and progress. He has turned you into zombies. Could you ever believe that in 2019 Nigeria you will live in a lawless country that has been aptly described with different primitive epithets? Zoo country, poverty capital of the world, a nation of thieves and cowards, a country where nothing works, a failed state, zombie nation, banana republic, and of course the list goes on. You can add yours to it, but then while adding it, I'll beg you to reason and reflect. What is the way forward? Break apart. How do we go about breaking apart? How are we able to convince and people that are still desensitized, people that have decided to grab tightly and embrace their oppressor? It is very important. Most of the times we do this ethnic sentiment. We say it is the Yoruba, it is the Igbo, and the Yorubas are still blind. The Igbos are working, but the truth of the matter is that it is not all the Igbos that are awake. Many of them are blind too. Some of them are not in support of Biafra. Some of them are not even in support of IPOB. They don't want to break from the nation. You can see the likes of them, the ranks of them in your governors, political office holders, and ordinary citizens. Many of them are not in support of this IPOB movement or even any secessionist idea. None of them. So it is not just the Yoruba. I see comments where people say, oh, the Igbo and the Edos, we are awake. I can't see you awake. I can't see many of them awake because I can still see some minority groups such as the Edo people. They are involved in certain activities that shows that even when there is a new nation, this will be what they will keep practicing. I see some Yorubas, they're speaking. I see some Yorubas not saying anything too. So where are we heading to? Are we going to keep playing the same tribal sentiment, tribal war amongst ourselves, just like how it was in the years back when we got independence, but we were never independent of our reasoning? Anyway, I go further. He said, would you have imagined that in 2019, Nigeria, a pro-democracy advocate, human rights crusader, publisher of the fearless and influential mock raking portal, Sahara Reporters, and former presidential candidate, will be abducted in the night by agents of a democratic government, arrested, detained on trumped up charges of serious crimes of treason that carries death penalty. Whereas in the same country, deadly terrorists such as Boko Haram, ISWAP, bandits, herdsmen, terrorists are being pacified, coddled, massaged. In fact, they are paid for killing innocent people. They are even told that they could become presidents. While thieves, crooks, are also reappointed and appointed into high visibility public offices. What the hell is wrong with you, Nigerians, Biafrans, Yorubas, Niger Deltans, southern part of Nigeria? What the hell is wrong with you people? That doesn't mean the northern part of Nigeria are not suffering too. They are suffering. Nigerians, where is your collective rage? Where is your kindled anger? Where is your seething outrage? Nigeria, it's time to free yourselves from Buhari's tyranny and all the past tyranny. Wake up from your self-induced stupor. Fight for your destiny, your life, your dignity, your soul. Fight for your future. Fight on behalf of your children and children. Resist the evil president. Just like they say, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Call off the bluff of the gap-toothed devil, devious and satanic agenda. You must halt the advancement of the ancient evils of a sadist in democratic camouflage. Nigerians, you are at war with your public enemy number one. Buhari is a sworn enemy of our nation, your people, and your civilization. Buhari is not joking. He is determined to erase you from the face of the earth. He sees critics and whoever disagrees with him as a terrorist and place them on government watch. You have become targets for surveillance of your activities and correspondence. And I'll quickly point out there is a new bill in which they say you will be arrested and made to pay 500,000 naira and 5 million naira if you speak against the government. Simply put, it's speech. And they are in charge of what they will call hate speech. They are the one to point out what they term as hate speech. Now, it's legal to arrest, detain, and hold you indefinitely incommunicado without bail or trial for exercising your freedom of speech, assembly, association, and freedom to protest peacefully. Omoshele did this. Omoyele Shore called for revolution now. They proscribed, they arrested him, and maybe they will proscribe him soon. IPOB called for the same. They proscribed them. You have been stripped of your rights. You have been labeled as an enemy. Nigerians, the danger is real. The time is now for you to use some revolutionary outrage if you have any left. Invoke the revolutionary spirit of your ancestors and declare your independence from the tyranny of Buhari's police state. Nigerian, least you forget, the government job is to protect your innate rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Remember, government power comes from the will of the people. Buhari's government should not be an exception. Make no mistake about it. It is evident that the purpose of Buhari's second term is to establish a tyrannical government. Buhari's government has become destructive. It is your right to alter or abolish it and institute a new government. President Buhari is sitting on a time bomb that will explode anytime from now unless he makes a dramatic U-turn. If he likes, let him continue to hunt down critics. Let him continue his oppressive rule. Let him continue as an invincible emperor. like other dictators before him, he will be swept away by the tide of the looming and inevitable revolution now. Maybe he will end up eating apple like Abacha. Thanks for stopping by. Do not forget to tap on that subscription button and also the red notification icon bell. Tap on it so you'll be notified whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.